What is going on, everybody? This is Rawstarr, and I'm joined with CW, and you're listening to the Burbank Misfits. Today, we have a very amazing, special guest. Like, you've seen her on Twitter, you've seen her, probably seen her videos, and hopefully you paid for it because, you know, you should pay for the videos you watch. Otherwise, you won't be able to shoot more stuff, and you should go ahead and check her out. Her name is the lovely, wonderful, fantastic Lexi Mansfield.
Hi, thank you for having me on here, and that was a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much.
Hey, I got to introduce you right because, you know, I want the world to know, like, how to find you, go out and check you because, like, I've known her for a little while now, and through her tweets, you can see her awesome,
everybody
personality. And I actually read the tweets, too.
He does. He, knows what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I got to stay in the loop.
Yeah.
I got to make sure that everybody is, 100 and doing well. And through her tweets, you can say, oh, she is an amazing, wonderful human being.
Wow. Yeah. I wish I knew that much about some of my family members. Jeez. Thanks, George.
No.
Rawstarr, you really set the bar high.
No, because
thanks.
Actually, because I try to remember the way I meet everybody, and I remember exactly how I met her, quote unquote met her, because today is the first time I met her face to face. But I met her via promoting your special you were doing.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. And then she asked,
Oh, really?
Hey, where's this at? And
I
told her, and
I remember now.
It was too far away, and I'm like,
Yeah, because we asked about location, and I'm like, oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, well, darn.
We up in the valley.
I can still be friends with you.
Yeah.
And after that, we've spoken on numerous occasions. So, to get into topic, tell the, huh?
Wow,
He has a really good memory.
Wow, that's,
I mean, he can,
You just really
Yeah, I mean,
I don't recall how many.
this is.
I'm forgetting some of my friends' names.
This is why.
Ooh.
This is why I got my degree. One of my degrees in. This is why I got a degree in history, because it just rattles and.
We were best friends for 4 years. I remember your nickname. I remember that.
Do you remember how you met?
Yeah, I remember how I met you. I remember that time you lied for me, but I can't remember. All right. So what are we talking about today?
Oh no, I was trying to tell the world who you are and stuff like that.
Yes.
You can
Tell us
hold the
about
mic
yourself.
closer to you too. You want to?
Okay, so I am Lexi Mansfield. So I am in the adult entertainment industry.
Really?
Wait.
I'm joking.
Did I know this?
And like you said, you can find my videos out there. Hopefully paid for.
For your porn people.
But,
People got to get paid.
I'm sure there are things you can find, on those sites.
Yeah, we don't talk about
So
those sites.
actually, I have a question. With that, what sites do you actually get paid from? If there's a whole super list, you don't have to give me a super list. If there's 6, then okay, what's the 6? Or if there's
Usually the sites are the companies, the production companies.
Okay.
Yeah, the production companies, and then I know a mini vid. You have mini vids, right?
So mini vids is where you create your own content.
Okay.
I'm on there.
Okay.
And then you sell your own videos, which is
And that's what he shoots for her.
Yeah. And but other than that, it's really working with companies, production companies, and they release it on their sites, and you have to become a member and purchase the videos that way. Or when you have a membership, you have access to everything.
So when you're on your own, I guess, how do you deal with the rampant piracy?
You can't. There's
you can't even go to the site and be like, "Hey, these are my videos. Take them down."
You can.
But do they just pop back up?
Yeah, I mean.
I mean, you can, but then people already have it in a torrent format.
Yeah.
And then it's if it's on blah.com.
It's true. It's on
it will pop up on 20 other sites.
Yeah.
And then people will either post the snippet of it, and then, some of us, low-class, stingy men, not me, will go on these sites and only need that if the
10 seconds or a
if it-
minute
yeah.
or whatever it is.
I'll knock it out in the trailer.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, like they
Some
just watch the
trailers are
trailer like
long.
ooh, and they're done, and like yeah.
Yeah.
I personally can't do that anymore. Turn your phone off, by the way, and
My man.
anyway, like I personally can't do that because if you've heard my other podcasts, I need storyline.
Oh yeah, you need to build.
Bring me into it, you know.
You like the storyline.
I need
Gonzo?
no. I just need no story. Like if you are his teacher and like this is your student, give me some introduction. Don't just come on the scene and then all of a sudden someone's licking somebody,
Okay, man. So you need to
get into
cut out
it.
some time
Yeah.
to watch. Because you can't just be like,
Need an
okay, well I
intro.
got 10 minutes and I got to be on the road. You got to be like, oh well,
You probably spend.
got an hour. I'm
I'm
gonna watch this entire video.
I need that good 5 minutes to say why are y'all two
Oh,
having sex?
do y'all even like each other?
Yeah. Okay.
to feel.
yeah.
Okay,
He's like,
this
I
is
need to be like, you're not paid to be here.
This is your new stepmom, and you're visiting from college.
Oh, you really
And
need
y'all-
that.
and y'all don't like each other.
This is interesting. The
Okay,
storylines that he's
and
coming up
you're
with.
failing right now, and they've called, and
man.
and she is punishing you.
You really-
and y'all going to sex. Yes,
You really watch it.
Yeah.
yes.
too.
I need
Okay,
that.
I mean-
otherwise, like, yeah.
People appreciate you that, George. People appreciate you for that.
No, actually, that's cool that
That's
you
cool,
like all
actually, yeah.
that, because he appreciates the art.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
somebody's actually...
Yeah.
And that's why
Like, you respect what somebody's putting
Yeah.
in. You're not like, what is
Yeah,
this?
it's
Where's
just
the
that,
blowjob
yeah.
part?
Let's
I
just
can't.
fast-
yeah, and
Yeah.
and like, well, you just said something I don't watch though.
What? Oh,
I
blowjob.
don't watch boy girl. I only watch girl or girl machine. So
well, girl's one of the most popular categories searched out there.
Yes.
it's like with me, I don't like looking at another man's penis. So
That would be normal, I think.
Yeah,
for a guy.
that's
I would-
all right.
Yeah,
so
that's
That's
okay.
I
okay.
don't want to see it,
Yeah.
because I think I said before it's a catch-22 with me. It's like
A catch-22?
Either like
How so?
I'm watching it and that person's bigger than me. And it's like
Wow, you constantly comparing. You're like,
I can't do that to you. I'm sorry.
I just, but I don't look at it as like,
or like they're bigger than me. It's like, oh, I can handle that better.
It's like a comparison
that's my
thing for
mentality.
guys.
If I watch a boy girl.
So that is a question. When guys watch, do you compare yourself or put yourself in that person's position?
I do.
You do.
me
If I
personally,
watch boy girl, but it's
I
like,
put
can't-
myself in the position like, oh, what if I was that person? That I don't think like, oh man, his shit is like way bigger than mine. Like no, or like this or that, or like why does he have those Tim boots on? I don't think about that. I usually, it's more of like it's like it's a fantasy because it's like a heightened reality. It's not real. Like if you. Yeah, some people have those kind of sex lives in their regular sex life, but
they
like
think they could
sometimes
do what
that's
they
like a
see.
occasional
Yeah.
thing you do
Yeah.
with your
And they
girlfriend
bring it into
sometimes,
their
not
life.
like every time.
I know it's not real. I know it's the
So like
fantasy.
I don't look at it like
but
I don't
the thing is-
compare.
The thing is, I want you to bring me into the fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Bring me into it. Like I say, okay, I'm not there, but if I was there, let me print like experience. Like I was just sitting right there watching y'all do what y'all do, and I'm just like, okay, And then just even being around, like knowing so many people in porn, is getting like I can't watch certain people because of that.
Yeah, that gets
Yeah.
kind of bother.
Because
some-
now you know them, you're like, okay,
Oh
that's
yeah.
weird now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because like when me and him lived together a while back, we had various people that went like they used our house as a gateway. Like either they were entering the industry, so they stayed at our house while they moved here.
What he's saying? You make it
Your
sound like it was a
house
porn
in-
halfway house.
I know. I was like,
Like, hey, like, I'm just getting in the
I was
industry.
trying to
I'm
see
gonna
what he was
sleep
trying
on
to say.
Rawstarr's couch. I gotta pay my dues on Rawstarr's couch now.
Or they were leaving the industry.
Yeah, that was like 3 people.
On their way out, or on their way in.
So like, yeah, they just use our home to, it was interesting conversations because we used to have a gay roommate, and he used to
we had a few. I think
all three.
I think like all of our roommates, if you think about it,
really,
except for maybe Barb.
Bev.
And Bev. Well, okay, Bev, Kevin, and Morris, but the rest, which were like 4 or 5 other people.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, it was.
Things that come up.
It was. He was roommates with one of our roommates for like 2 years, and he didn't know until I moved in.
Because I don't pay attention. It's like, okay.
He was like, "What? I didn't know." The guy got attacked by the guy. He was a guy he brought home.
Oh my god!
And he was like, "Oh, Tony's gay. I didn't know that." I was like, "You've been living here like 2 years." He's like, "Oh, I thought he was just his friend, the other dude."
No, because he lived with his cousin, and his cousin had a back place, whatever. And the thing is like, I go to inside my room, work, then leave. Back then it was like I still do now. It's tragic. Anyway, and I was in school then. I was getting my master's, and then like
I was getting my master's.
I was getting my education. He's gay, and the only reason then he was.
I was like, what?
His story is hilarious because he was saying my roommate was
I just moved there like a week or something ago.
He was there for 2 days.
2 days. Yeah, it was there 2 days.
Know much about your roommate.
I did not. I was like, I was gonna I'm gonna stay with George for a little bit. Oh, excuse me, Rawstarr. I was gonna stay with Rawstarr for a little bit and just move somewhere in LA. I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll move to. I didn't know anything about LA. I was like, maybe I'll move into Van Nuys.
Van Nuys.
Like, everybody just looked at me like, Van Nuys, okay. So. Yeah, it was like he just got back from like the Philippines, and it was the night of a Pacquiao fight, and then I was still on the like Midwest,
yeah, they were both Philippines,
like sleeping thing. So I fell asleep really early, and then in what is it, about midnight, we heard like some banging, and then heard like, "Help me! He's trying to kill me!" And so I walked down there. And his room was like down a long hallway in the back. And when I walked in, he was naked. And it was this Latin dude, like hitting him in the head.
Oh.
With, wasn't it a bottle?
Was it like a fetish thing they had?
Oh, no. He was going to beat him up and rob him.
Oh.
So
wow.
George tells me I grabbed the dude. I grabbed the dude and told him to come with me. But he says I slammed against the wall. I don't remember slamming against the wall. I told him to sit down.
Nicely.
He didn't sit down, and I told him like, sit down. And then he was like, okay, he sat down. And then he asked me if I spoke Spanish. I was like, I don't speak no Spanish, man. I'm not even from here. I don't even live here, really. And then like the other roommate, Bev, was like, can someone else call the police? Because I got a race to get to because she was a marathon runner. I was like, Bev, call the police. And she called the police, and then Rawstarr went to answer the door, and they were like, freeze! And he's like,
gosh.
And then they put us all out on the curb.
All of you.
Yeah, and then they were like, hey, did he do anything? Got anything on these guys? And one guy was like, not yet. And they put the guy in the car, and the guy went away. And then that's how I moved in with no deposit.
Wow.
Because he was like,
the first day.
Yeah, it was the first week in LA. People were like, I would have went home. I was like, if he would have been dead back there, I probably would have went back. I would have just been maybe LA is not like
LA for me.
This is like the LA and Predator 2. This is not like this is LA is like the movies. And can't do it.
And we were in Burbank,
LA is like
so
the
it was.
movies. I know.
We were in the good part of Burbank, so it was like.
Yeah.
So, but to get back, what I was like, one of our roommates, he used to work in porn, and like he's a guy, whatever. He wasn't a roommate. He was staying on our couch, and our roommate.
Oh, we can't say his name. Oh, you don't like saying his name?
No, but he's one of the.
He's destroyed so many porns for me.
Am I
Just because he pans up and I see his dumb face.
I've been in
It's
porn,
like,
I've been around for 10 years. And it's only the
face.
entire industry in the 10 years I've been around that I cannot tolerate. And this person's one of them. And I can get back to that in a second. But
I'll say his name. Jovan Jordan.
And
if you don't know who he is, well, forget about it. I don't care. I run a personal training studio. Every time it's just like, it's Jovan. I gotta turn this off. This is great. Well, and now it's gross.
Basically, he blackballed himself because he was blaming female performers for the reason he couldn't stay hard.
Dang! Now we just gossiping.
Yeah.
You putting her in a very precarious position here.
Well,
she can't really be like, oh well, yeah, blah 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 blah, and it's like, we were gonna have you in the scene. I'm 150 this money.
I'm 156% sure she knows.
Podcast.
I'm 150% sure that. I'm 150% sure she knows who he pissed off the most, and that person does not get pissed off, but he pissed him off the most.
Man, he was one of the worst couch roommates ever. Huh?
He has the same namesake as you. He uses the same namesake as you.
Oh, we use the same namesake as me. Oh, Chris. Oh,
Chris.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can figure it. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's a real nice guy. Seems like every time I've interacted with him. So seems kind of like
blaming his girlfriend that he couldn't.
Oh, and she's pretty nice too.
Yeah, she's adorable.
She is nice.
So that's why he got. But
Jovan's always been full of excuses ever since we met him. Ever since I met him. All right, so let's talk about something more about like you instead of like
it's crazy conversation. Yeah. Okay, back.
It doesn't have to be every time. It's like let's tell the story of how we know each other.
So Lexi,
and who are you?
Hi.
Yeah, tell us like how long you've been in and stuff like that. And
not long, so about a year and a half now.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
I say that because like I hear like the party Mayhem went to. I met people who said they've been around for like 6 months. So it's like, oh, you're still a baby, you know.
So like, when you said they're still a baby, how, like,
2 years?
How? Oh yeah, I was about to say burnout rate is what, like 2? Yeah. Damn, that sounds real.
Yeah,
that sounds real sad. I just sounded real like that. Yeah, it's young.
Yeah, because for somebody, 2 years is a long time, depending how many scenes they shot, you know, how much they work. Like, that could be like eternity. But for me, I started with webcamming.
Okay.
And that's how I got into it.
That's how many people start.
Did that for about 6 months before I even considered anything to do with porn. And when I started thinking about it, I was at one of the AVNs last year. Not this past one, but the one last year. And then met my current agent there and signed and said, okay, let's do this.
Okay.
And, been in it since. But for a good part of it last year, I was ill for a bit, so I couldn't shoot for a good part of that. So even though I've been in it for a while, I feel like I haven't.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so it sounds like a long time, but it really hasn't been.
Okay. So what made you get into the adult industry?
You know, that's always what someone is interested in finding out is what makes your mind, what makes you think, you know.
Well, I mean, you don't have to get too deep into it. You're just gonna be
No. I think that for me, I've always been good in front of the camera, comfortable, because I modeled and everything. But it was about finding out more about myself, exploring my body in the way that I couldn't have before. Just because I'm Asian and we're not taught to be very open, you know, with our bodies, and, you know, everything sexual is like under the carpet, like we don't talk about it or we don't show it, you know. So I feel like that was my opportunity and chance to kind of explore and be open in a setting that's kind of safe, where I feel safe, and, you know, working under a professional environment. So I said, why not? And I've been exploring since.
Like I just
Okay.
with the quote.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've asked this question a few times, sometimes on the podcast and sometimes off. And I'm not saying like I'm not judging anybody's answers, but like I'm seeing one of these, but I'm seeing a similar line in the like kind of the answers. Like
really?
Yeah, almost like I wanted to explore this kind of side of myself, but I wanted to do it in like a safe environment. And this is one of the
people
like
don't understand how safe porn is because like how often and frequently they get tested and stuff like that. And then it's always a stigma like, well, you can't mess with them. They got stuff. No, they get regularly tested.
Yeah, people don't understand. I think regular people, not in the industry.
Call them civilians.
Yeah, they
That's
just,
what I've been called that before. So it's hilarious.
yeah, they don't understand that. We do have to get tested regularly. It's a 2-week 14 testing for most companies. And
We're 7.
Yeah, or 7.
That's
if
driving a
they're
lot of
stricter, but
cash.
Usually, it's within the 2 weeks, and
And it's like
anything-
is it 160 now, or is it more than that?
Okay, shit.
Yeah, that's a lot. And
Yeah.
that's out of their pocket.
Yeah,
That's-
it makes.
That is
I mean,
out of
it makes more sense than. I mean, if you think about it, if you really think about it as a person, and a lot of people I don't think are going to, but if you're like, hey, if you're a guy or a girl, and you're like, hey, let's say I want to have sex with multiple people at once, and hey, I could go on just the regular interwebs and just be like, hey, it used to be like Craigslist and be like, post something.
know.
And then it's just like all kinds of people
You
come
can
and
find
show
all
up
kinds
there,
of
all
places,
kinds
yes.
all kinds of things, social diseases they might be bringing with them. And then, you don't know. But in a porn environment, you have people that are like, hey, I have my note to be here.
Yeah,
I can be here, so we can all be here for
Yes.
this,
Yeah. And actually, it makes me more aware in my personal life, that now that I know these things, it just makes you more aware about people and where they've been and if you're going to get into something like, oh, how safe are you being,
Yeah, that's true. As someone on the outside, I remember at one of Jake's parties, I had a conversation with a young woman. And
Things that go
yeah,
down at
and
Jake's
we were like, oh, man, like, I guess it's freeing to be like, okay, I know I could just have sex with this person. But at the same time, like, we aren't in this industry. We can have sex with anybody we want. But actually, that's kind of gross if you think about it, because, like, we can have sex with dirty people possibly and not care. It's not going to affect our, anything we're doing
I know.
besides our health.
I know.
And who cares? Who
not
cares?
porn stars.
Yeah, we're not more. Yeah, we're not. Yeah. That makes me. Oh man.
And I believe some of the newer people need to understand that though too, because sometimes they get in and then they just, as someone put it when they was talking to me, they mess with someone who's not kosher, and then they just shut it down for everybody else.
Yeah.
You're looking at me like,
I know.
no, someone has said to me my dick wasn't kosher.
Wow.
Because I wasn't tested.
Oh yeah. We were both there. We were both there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, we were there. They're like
At the event.
they're going to a place, and she was like, "No."
But the thing is, I wasn't trying to mess with her. She just came out of nowhere and said it. Like,
Yeah, it's an interesting thing being someone that's not in the industry and interacting with people in the industry. Sometimes it's very welcoming, and then it's just like
sometimes you feel
like very
drank my pop.
standoffish, and it's just like, wow. Do you feel this ostracized? Because I feel ostracized. So is this like, hey, you? Because I feel like, oh damn, I'm invisible here. Do people make you feel like this? I hope not. But then it's just like, are you a creep? Do you have ulterior motives? Are you somebody trying to get into the industry? And it's like, I actually just want your money for personal training.
Yeah.
Or we can be friends too. But, I just want to train, really. Or hang out. I want to have a party and play Mario Kart just like everybody else.
Right.
That's what happens at Jake's parties usually.
Yeah.
Just sit back and play Mario. Like
A lot of
over here,
Mario
like
Kart.
over here is Mario Kart. Over here, someone's on a pole, and they're in the yard drinking.
Yeah,
That's
talk
Jake's
about
parties,
music and stuff. It's,
Basically,
Jake has a lot of parties.
I've only missed one.
Oh, you've only been to one.
you only
No, I've only
missed
missed one.
one?
Oh, you've only
Damn,
missed
you
one.
went to a lot of them, man.
Yeah, I know. You've been to a lot of parties.
And it was the funnest one too, from what I saw. I'm still mad about.
So, where do you want to go in the industry? Are you just seeing where it goes?
I'm seeing where it goes. I recently, did my first gangbang and my first glory hole, so there were pretty big scenes for me with Asiani Studios.
Have they been released yet?
Yeah,
Okay.
it just released, so there's all kinds of promotion going on my Twitter. But
Who are you with? So the people out there in the interweb can say, "Oh, she's with them."
They love it. I mean, at first they're all like, "Oh, we want to see you in girl, just like you. We don't want to see boy, girl." And then they're like, "No, now we want to see boy, girl." Okay, so I'm like, "All right, you guys want to see more now?" And they're like, "No, now we want to see interracial and gangbangs." I'm like, "Wow, we stepped it up
Yep.
real fast."
No. For me, it's just a preference. And people who have I've assisted at the cons, and they've used my computer to show their videos. It's sometimes it's my first time actually seeing them do a boy girl scene because it's playing and I can't not see it because it's
can't not see
right there,
It's right in front of you.
and it's like, oh, okay, okay. But I just can't do that to boy girl. It's just
Everybody just, nobody can see these hand gestures he's making unconsciously. He's like, yeah. I'm like, what? What is he doing?
I can't grab the lotion and put it on my skin.
Okay.
Or you want to get
All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
you want to get getting semantics. What is your favorite scene you've done so far?
I would say it is the gangbang.
Okay. See?
I would. It was
She,
kind of.
she leaned back, smiled,
I
yes.
would say that it is.
Gangbang, yes.
It was a lot more
Right,
subtle than
I
that. She
know,
just was like,
I know. Was it quite like
yeah.
It was subtle, but if you saw her expression, that was going on.
I think it was
That
just
was
short.
going
Like,
It was like
okay.
reminiscent. Like I thought about the scene, I thought of myself in it for a second, and I said definitely that one. No, because it's like in terms of acting, right? You kind of push the boundary a bit. You kind of push yourself and you go, what role can I play? And it's kind of like that. This is where I kind of pushed my boundaries, and I felt like I kind of achieved something I never thought I could achieve in that moment. And so I'm like, wow, kind of proud of myself.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. And I mean, I still wish you great success because I've seen some of the stuff you've posted up, and I've seen that you are gaining notoriety amongst, your fans and people who follow you and stuff like that. So I really hope that your star continues to grow.
Thank you.
I know people.
Oh, he is.
What? This is real.
Yeah, I know.
It is. You remembered to now.
He was like, I know what to say.
It's my realness over here. This is the realness.
Okay.
Okay. I lost my train of thought because
Yeah. Now you just took us. You're like, hey, flattery.
No, you were
Flattery,
wishing me
flattery.
well in my future success.
Well, no, I meant before that. I had
Oh,
something
before.
else, and then it just went away because I'm getting old. Okay, let's try to get on our topic.
Oh, yeah.
today.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Oh, what? I'm supposed to talk about Netflix crime documentaries?
No, that's on our topic.
Yeah, you should watch. What is it now? Oh,
With
criminal
psychology.
psychology. I'm not a criminal psychology person.
Yes,
have
but
you
you
been watching
told
The
me
Act
that.
on Hulu?
Yeah. Which one?
Ooh, The Act.
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. It's about this mother who had Munchausen by proxy, and she was keeping her daughter sick.
Okay.
And then her daughter killed her.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty good. It's got Patricia Arquette playing the mom.
Oh, I like her.
Why
Yeah.
when you say that, I think of The Sixth Sense, though.
The Sixth.
Why?
He sees
because
ghosts.
he's
No, because
the mom was getting
Well, that's
yeah.
right.
She had like even a feeding tube and
Recall.
everything.
Yeah.
You
seen
can
that.
find documentaries about it too. So it's scary.
Oh, there was a real life story
Yeah.
recently I read in a magazine where I guess parents kept like their 6 to 8 kids that they had in the house, never let them leave. So they were like tied. They barely had showers, and suddenly one of them escaped, and then like I guess the authorities found them, and now they're all free, and they don't know what to do with their freedom even. Like they say that they want to. I know this is kind of, but made me think of like parents like keeping their children safe.
Yeah,
keeping their kids, away from society. And they
I mean,
grew up that
I
way.
believe there's a big difference between keeping them safe and then child abuse.
But they had
It's-
like
it's-
family photos every year. It was so weird.
Oh, it's just like you just can't. Well, I knew kids like that. That
Yeah.
like they had to take a beeline straight home after school, and then you
But at
never
least they went
saw
to
them.
school. They were
Yeah.
homeschooled.
Oh,
They
they're
never left
homeschooled.
the house.
Man, yeah. Dang. Like just living there.
Yeah.
Just never having the
I just read
interaction
this
with
recently.
the
Yeah.
shit.
I know.
Yeah.
And now they have the freedom. They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, like how do you, if you used to interacting with like 5-6 people and they're like, guess what? I know you've never counted to this much, but there's 7 billion.
I know.
And they're like, I just want to go back to the house. Let's go back to the house.
Bring me back. Yeah.
Damn.
And that's
I got
why
dark.
I always find it interesting when we talked about the criminal psychology, and he said you're, criminals.
Thanks, yeah.
I want to know what's
Personal
involved
trainer.
in the mind of people, when
Yeah.
they make certain decisions, or if it, what affects them, what are the factors of their environment, and whatnot. I find
Yeah,
that interesting.
it's I find that interesting too, especially like when it comes to like raising kids or like things that like kind of repeat themselves generationally, and you're like, well, at some point, and sometimes you meet people that are repeating things. What's up?
He's got his hands up.
I just said psychology. I just looked it up. I just said psychology. Okay.
Psychology.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
See, he did not say criminal.
Okay.
I didn't want to throw that out
What?
there. I keep saying like he said. Like I did not say that.
It's,
know, why
it's,
do we-
it's
we-
been about, like
We did say it.
more than 10 years since I graduated from
I
school.
mean, I took criminology in high school, and I still remember all the stuff. That,
Oh, well,
that craziness.
yeah, because you have like your brain. But as I was
It's
saying
the only thing
before
that
I was interrupted,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, about the generation, like it's funny, like you meet people and you hear their stories, but then you're watching them kind of repeat their parents' stories, and you hear them tell their
Yes.
parents' stories in
Yes.
like a negative light, and then
Yeah.
they're doing the
The
same
same thing.
things, and it's like, where are you like
Yeah.
seeing that this is good for whoever you're raising or what you're doing in your life when you saw that it was an absolute disaster?
And sometimes they just don't see that.
Yeah,
that's
sometimes they
true.
don't see. They're like,
Yeah.
no, this is different.
Yeah,
This is different.
Yeah, this is not the same.
I don't
thing.
drink.
No.
I just smoke all day, every day. But that's different. I can function. I'm good.
I'm not an alcoholic.
I'm not alcoholic. I just do it on the weekends. Every weekend. Nah, I'm just messing around. I'm not judging. Not judging.
Just drink Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. And
We used to drink a lot.
I didn't drink that much.
Oh, I did. I
You
did.
did.
I did.
I would buy 2 bottles for the entire weekend
Well, yeah. No, that's a lot, actually. That's a lot.
to
Yeah.
share.
Wait.
Yeah, that's a lot to share. One bottle, man. One bottle. One bottle.
Two bottles to share amongst 5 people.
One bottle. One bottle. One bottle. Because it's college. We broke. I don't know. Where did you get the money? Oh, yeah. We lived in this really cheap apartment way, way out. That's how. One bottle.
75.
One bottle of Kamchatka.
But
Which is a bottle, the bottom row vodka, the one that's just like, you throw it against the wall and you're like, nah, it doesn't break because you're like, I'm sad about life.
I'm always cheap, but I keep money that way. So
Yes. Yeah. You're notorious for being
That's how
cheap.
to save, though.
no, I'm just
Save.
I'm known for notoriously being cheap, even though
Really? You buy a lot of food. You're not cheap on food.
I'm cheap on food too.
Oh yeah, he's a 99-cent menu warrior.
I buy.
Oh no, you know. I cook.
I think it's like how like
Well, yeah, I'm a chef. I'm a criminal psychologist.
I know.
What else am I, George?
Awesome fitness trainer.
I'm an well, that's true. No, I'm an awesome personal trainer.
How much do you spend on food a month?
How much do I spend on food a month? I am not an accountant though, so I have no idea.
I spend about $120.
You spend $120.
That's it?
Oh, wait.
A month?
Is that in total dollar amount worth of groceries?
Yeah.
So you only buy $120 worth of groceries a month.
Yeah.
Only $120 of groceries. How often do you eat out?
A lot.
Okay, there you go. Okay, there, yeah. He's
now
trying to
we
make it sound
established
like,
that.
I just saved so much
know.
money.
And
No.
in 30 days,
He's probably spending more like $400 a month.
in 30 days, I probably go out
Now he's going out too.
20 days.
8 or 9.
8 or 9? Shenanigans.
But-
I call it shenanigans because you eat out every time we have a podcast, and then I watch you eat out like 2 times a week during the week at least because you post it on the social media. Who you playing? How much you spend on food
Just
a
some
month?
stuff lasts.
A lot.
It's like
I think if anything, food is like expensive.
Yeah, and it goes bad.
It does.
You'll be like,
I know. And I'm
Because-
like,
"Hey, what? I can't eat this fucking spinach. I was supposed to be healthy this week.
The thing is, like he knows how slow I eat. So, like, if I get a pizza, that can last me the entire. That's one meal. That's all I need for that day.
Like a turtle.
Because it lasts, and then sometimes I can put it in the refrigerator and eat the next day because I eat so slow.
Eat stuff like
One-
at
one
room temperature. Room temperature.
but pizza
It's
can last a
gross.
while. Like, I can't finish a
He'll be like, "Hey," I'll be like, "You want some nachos? Things that get soggy. It's horrible to watch him eat it because he'll be like, it'll be all soggy."
Oh, nachos get soggy so
Yeah,
bad.
everything, and I'll be like, "Ugh, how do you eat that?" Like Taco Bell, I'm like, that shell's all
yeah.
soggy now, or like, Taco Bell.
Yeah,
It's not good on the reheat.
It is taking me before 2 hours to eat one bowl of cereal.
That's
but then it's soggy,
Well, you're just
too.
eating like mush.
Yeah, it is mush.
Like ugh.
Like oatmeal.
Like oh wait, you like cream corn, don't you?
oh,
Oh, see, ugh, gross. You like soggy stuff. You probably loved a lot of Kabooms and like all the cheap cereal.
I did like.
You'd be like,
I like-
"What's this?" You'd be like,
I didn't
sell at
like
99
King
cents.
Vitamin.
yeah.
I didn't like King
The
Vitamin. But I
small
did
bag.
like Kaboom.
Yeah.
You were like,
Little box, just
yeah,
that.
I'll take some more cream of wheat.
I didn't like Cream of Wheat.
Yeah.
That's like,
No, you just like soggy oatmeal, real soggy oatmeal.
I do like oatmeal.
See? Ugh.
I do like. I got my. I got 2 boxes at home right
Well,
now.
oatmeal is very healthy, though.
Of-
It can be, yes. So what do you eat during a day?
I like to eat. I need my protein, but
Okay.
I do have my carbs. I can't not have carbs, and I get too hungry and I start snacking too much. So I got to balance my meal and eat enough so that I don't have these cravings. especially
Okay,
late
that's
at
smart.
night. I do like my salads too, but I don't wait on it, and then it gets all soggy with the dressing.
See, yeah.
Gross.
He
You
doesn't
can't do
eat
salad
they're over
green
here.
later,
vegetables.
so you got to eat at the present.
Yeah, now.
So like right now, like we're on opposite sides of the table, and it's like across from me, like it's 2 people who eat it really healthy, and I'm over here, the glutton, and eats all bad and eats so slow, and it's like it's a little intervention right now.
No,
No,
I don't say that. I mean,
that's not-
I'm saying that I have to stop myself from binging on snacks. Like
I eat
chips.
a lot of sugar.
Yeah, I do too. And I love my chips, and oh my God,
Yeah,
so just
I like
have to
cupcakes a lot, so.
kind of control myself. That's
I'm
all.
trying to think what's left
That's
of
what
my
you need.
cupcake.
Yeah, you need to eat green vegetables.
You do.
Yeah.
Put your fruits in.
Fruits, fruits and vegetables.
I eat my
Green
fruits.
ones.
I eat my fruit.
Have some green ones.
I don't eat my vegetables. I eat my fruit.
Yes, he's like a little kid.
Oh, you are.
Like he doesn't eat green vegetables.
You know how they do the nutrition plate? You have to fill your plate up with like all the.
The thing with me when it comes to certain vegetables.
Yeah, see, break it down like that.
When it comes to certain vegetables, I can't eat it in the whole form. If it's like smoothie style, whatever, I can drink it, no problem.
How can you survive all this pulpy, gritty stuff in your mouth mixed with liquid? How do you do this?
Like that,
this is gross.
I can drink it. It tastes good to me. The thing is, and like I can't eat it in the whole form unless it's like in something that hides the taste. So like if it's in like a chicken broth or some type of broth, I can eat it no problem. It's the same thing when I say I don't like chocolate that much. If I can't, I didn't even notice.
Can't put your purse on the floor, you'll be broke.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Really?
I would have said that, and I didn't even notice.
I forgot.
That.
I was like, wait, something's amiss. I was like, I like your purse though.
Here, well, I don't want to be broke.
Yeah, that's what. I was in a hair salon with my stepmom one time. The lady was like, "Get your purse off the phone. That's how you be broke."
Here it is.
Wow, yeah.
Growing up black, never put any person's purse on the ground. You'll get yelled at, chastised, and occasionally, if you're young enough, you will get a butt whipping. If you put the purse on the floor.
Oh, see, I've never done that.
Oh, wow. Well, you don't need to, because you don't.
Well, I mean, I've never grabbed somebody's purse and put it on the ground.
Oh.
No, I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, there's weird training. Yeah, when you think about it, you don't give.
No.
If you're a kid, you don't give anybody like a.
Broke. That's maybe why. I understand now.
That's just one of the things that, like, because we grew up on, like.
They're like, I see your purse is not on the floor. Do you want $100?
It's like,
you're not broke.
It's like
you need more money.
Inside of Gary in Arizona, then he moved to where we grew up, like where I met him at, and it's like we're on like my people don't know his people, whatever, basically, and like knowing the same thing. It's like it's might be a cultural thing.
So I grew up in a house full of people that smoked. What do you do as a child with an ashtray before you hand it to somebody?
You empty it. Is it?
Yeah. I was taught growing up, you better empty that trash ashtray before you give it to somebody. Yeah. I'm a cocktail waiter in here now. Like, go grab me a glass of water. Make sure your hands clean.
Wash your
Wait, what? Like, I'm a sir. Hey, you better time this VCR. Come fix this VCR. See, now, like, yeah. I can't wait to have a kid and be like, hey, you better do this stuff for me.
Yeah.
Girl, we do that now.
Yeah.
Run along.
I'm going to teach you how to do this now. So when I'm old and mean, you take care of me. You take care of me. Yeah.
How many kids are you going to have?
How many kids
you
do I
have?
have?
More than one, so if one doesn't show, there's another one that comes.
That's right. You got to have, I'm thinking 4.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
3 or 4. Because on average, you're going to have one that's okay.
Right.
If you have one that's okay, you can latch on to that one and be like, that's my good child. I was a good parent at some point. I was a good parent at some point in time.
I created this.
Yeah. Usually it's like the first one or like the last one.
It's the first because they're like,
It's the last.
Yeah.
I'm the good one of my family.
Yeah, because you're the last. Your mom was like, I'm not sorry.
No.
Aren't you the last one?
My mom, like my grandma came when I was 3 years old and says, I'm taking him.
Oh.
And she literally took me from my mom, and I was at my grandma's house. I was 13, from 3 to 13. I was at my mom.
Oh, never mind.
Literally. And then
Oh.
when my brother passed, I'm like, okay, I'm going home. My mom, no, don't go. I'm like, I got to.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I forgot or did not know about that.
Wait, how many siblings did you have?
Ooh, it's about to get dark.
This is going to get dark. It's going to get dark.
Oh, no.
I have.
Should I not have asked that?
That's all right.
I have one bio deceased, 2 step deceased, and 1 sister left.
Wow.
Yeah. What's it? It's getting dark.
I'm an only child.
It got dark.
Really?
I'm my dad's only child, though.
That's not bad. Like,
I always wanted siblings. Though.
I like to think that parents that have only children, so only one child, they're like, I want to give my kid everything or...
Yes, everything good and bad.
Yeah. They don't diffuse the
No,
thing. Like,
no.
when there's more than one kid, you can be like, you know what? I'm just going
the
to...
discipline is all on you.
Yeah.
Everything.
And then, it's so much pressure to succeed.
Yes.
And then, like, to have probably grandchildren, too, if they want grandchildren. Yeah.
Is that memorable?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's their names on my shoulder because, So, yeah, it got dark for a second there.
Yeah.
So
It
those
did.
are my siblings.
Sorry, we went there.
But no, I spoil the mess out of my niece and nephew. So that's why I know if I ever have a kid, oh my God, y'all just gonna hate that little spoiled brat.
I don't have too many nieces and nephews. Like 20.
Oh my
some
God!
odd.
I have great
Yeah.
nieces
So you're
and
like
nephews.
favorite uncle.
No. I think some of them don't even know me. I know some, like, they don't say they don't really like me, but they don't really like me, or they don't mess with me, or they're like, whatever, that's Uncle Chris. Like, and also I'm close in age to some of them, so I'm just like, that's like my brother, uncle. And then it's like, and
Then
then
be calling you uncle.
yeah, and then there's so many I just don't do. I'm like, hey, how about this? So no one feels like they're, left out. How about I don't do anything for like anybody? There you go. And maybe I'll toss you randomly some cash. Usually I kind of attach myself to the ones where my brother's not like hanging around or talking to him. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not filling any kind of gap, but I'll help you out.
Yeah.
I'll be cool with you. Daddy ain't cool with you, so I'll be cool with you. But the other ones, I'm like, hey, what's your name? You some kin to me? I did not know.
See, I have 3 nephews, 1 deceased, and like everybody's.
Oh my God, so much death, man.
So much.
So much death. But like I have two guaranteed
Guaranteed.
blood tests.
Wow.
Yeah, 2
You
guaranteed.
had to take
guaranteed.
blood tests to guarantee.
Yeah, because we got one out there we don't know, and it's suspect. But 2 guaranteed because they've had blood tests before and they found out it wasn't theirs. That's why this one is suspect. But
That's wild.
Yeah.
I just would never
I know.
think.
Me
Great.
too.
I might get caught up because I might not like question. I have to really look at it and be like, wait, hold up.
Like
Well,
the Jerry Springer show, you go, you're not mine.
You
No,
know
I'm
what?
yours.
Yeah,
You see my blood test?
and then I'm like, oh, like, would I be that dude?
Well,
like, if you,
Yeah.
okay, so this may sound very strange.
If
So
I
if you
was.
were a guy
Okay.
and you were like, hey, okay, this is like, I've had a kid with this woman, and then you're like, it's like 2-3 years in, and it's like, oh yeah, that's not your baby. And like, it's not like y'all met, started dating, and then she got pregnant. It's like, y'all were together for like 4 years before that. And then it's just like, not your baby. Would you be like, I'm going to stick around and raise this baby? Or this is going to be my kid? Or are you just going to be like,
Well,
hey, I'm free. I don't got no kid.
I'm emotionally invested, though, right? I'm like into the kid.
Yes. But how? I mean, but it's
Depends
not
on my
your kid.
relationship with-
Let's say 2. Let's say the kid's 2.
I don't know. That's a tough question. I guess as a guy, I might be
We'll
like,
roll it back one.
oh my God. No, that'd be like, fuck it.
yeah. I feel like there's a threshold of like knowing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Not mine. Never mind.
Nah.
All that time I put in.
as much
This motherfucker doesn't even act like me. But about 3, you're like, oh, he just acts just like he don't look like me.
Take it back.
So as much as I hate to end this, we actually reached
Oh,
the end
right.
already.
Oh,
Yeah, we
man.
actually did. So I don't know if you have time to do another one or not. I don't know if you do or not. If you do, yes. But anyway, go ahead and tell everybody how to find you, follow you, and support you in every type of way that they can.
So you can find me on Twitter, which is the best way to keep up with, all my updates of what's going on. And on Twitter, I am Lexi Girl, XXX, and the number 88. So Lexi Girl, XXX 88, you can find me. And pretty much, if you look me up on all social media platforms as Lexi Mansfield, I will pop up.
Okay.
So I have Instagram. You know, I'm on many vids, as I said. I'm also Lexi Girl XXX88 on there, and just you can find me.
Yeah,
Check out the mini vids. It's lit.
check out the
Yes.
mini vid. It is. Wow. And if you want to follow us, we are Burbank Misfits on Facebook, Burbank Misfits on Twitter, the Burbank Misfits on Instagram. If you want to follow Chris, it is Jess_genetics_Chris on Instagram. If you want to follow his gym, it is CC Fitness on CC Fitness LA.
Get it right.
on Instagram, Twitter, and CC Fitness on LA on Facebook. Yes, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking right now that we have been like this Burbank Misfits thing for like almost like it's getting close to like what 8 years or something like that.
8 years.
Like 8 years we've been using that. We haven't lived in Burbank in like 6 years.
We should change your.
Oh yeah, we changed it to the Sun Valley Sunners one for brief point, but that was so.
That's another good
That was funny. All right, we're done.
Rawstarr is where you can find me. I am on Twitter, Instagram, under those two monikers.
You don't know where
or
you are?
Rawstarr Communications on Facebook.
Okay.
Thank you for listening, and we'll tune in next week for more amazing guests and stuff like that. Thank you again for being on.
Thank you.
you.